Hi folks, how you doing? I was just writing my blog for the day about how I've done, the progress I've made today. And I got on to reading in it, saying I need to read more. And that is right, because on, like COVID aside, last year was a bad year. If you've been reading my blog for a while, you know that. And you'll know I've referred to it as both the best and the worst year of my life. And that's true, for many reasons which I'm not going into here. So about that, phone's not on silent. And yeah, it's just not a good year. Good year. It was a good year, but it was a bad year as well. Had more challenges. So I'm not looking at the camera. I will get used to doing this. It it was just a year where I found out who my friends were. I found out who I was to a big degree, but I'm getting back on track. I'm writing a lot now. I'm being more productive, and I feel like I'm progressing. There's a whiteboard just there, which has still got December's goals on it, which I've got updated for January, and I'm going to be doing that, writing each month what I want to achieve that month. And I think I've got a little diary here somewhere as well, which I'd like to get into a bit more daily goals for it, which again, not quite got on the right foot with that yet either. So, but one thing I want to talk about today is reading. I just haven't been doing it. I've read a bit here and a bit there, and I've been reading 2 books since the middle of last year. The first one I'm going to mention is Clickers Forever, edited by Brian Keane. It's a tribute anthology for the late J.F. Gonzalez, and it's all either stories set in his the worlds that J.F. Gonzalez created, like Clickers, which is a big example because that was, from what I can make out, what he's known for most, and it is, so far it's really good. As you can see, I'm about 3/4 of the way through it, 2/3 of the way through it, and it's really good. I don't think I've read something in it which I haven't liked, and after I listened to the whole show, Brian Keane. I've listened to every episode at least twice, probably even 3 times now, and it came to an end earlier this year. I think it was this year. No, late last year it came to an end, and the whole show with Brian Keane should have had J.F. Gonzalez as a regular host on it, but he passed away before that. And listening to Brian Keane talk about J.F. Gonzalez and Jeff Cooper and Dave Thomas and many others talking about him, you get this impression of this amazing dude who lived for horror, who, from what I've heard, he should have written the complete history of horror, because this was a man who knew horror. He was widely read, and he had a knowledge of horror which don't think many people have. And reading this just gives me this idea of a man who was so well loved, and it's made me want to read more horror, but not just more of the current stuff. But I've got the complete fiction of H.P. Lovecraft over there, the complete tales and poems of Edgar Allan Poe as well. And I've got to read more of that. I'm not saying I'm going to like it. I'm not saying it's going to be my thing, but I think I've got to have that knowledge of horror, and not just like Lovecraft and Poe, or just King or just Kuntz. I've got to have a little taste of so much which is out there, which I haven't done yet, and I've got to pick up my reading on that. I've got to pick that speed up, because horror, I've fallen in love with it so hard, but I've just got to get more of it, and I've got to get better in consuming more of it. So yeah, I want to get this one finished soon, but I also started 6 Wakes by the one and only fantastic Mo Lafferty. If you're a writer and you haven't checked out her blog, her podcast, I Should Be Writing, I'd strongly recommend it. It is one of the longest going podcasts out there, and she knows her shit. I'd recommend checking out Ditch Diggers as well, which is a podcast she does about the business side of writing with Forgetting his name. Oh shoot! I'm so sorry, dude. I can't see. This is why I should write notes down. Because I totally forgot, Matt. Oh shoot! Oh god, this is embarrassing. I can't believe I've forgotten his name. He's such a cool dude as well. Matt Wallace, that's it. Matt Wallace. He's a cool dude. You know, they used to do like a good cop, bad cop thing, and he just would not hold back. He'd give it to you with both barrels, which is great. But he seems to have mellowed since Ditch Digger started, and it's a great podcast. It's one I'd really recommend listening to. And again, just the business side of writing, the do's and don'ts. And you know, Mer, she's such a great writer. You know, she wrote the novelisation of Solo, the Star Wars movie about Han Solo, which is, I love that movie, but the novel is really good, and I really hope that Disney or whoever decides these things gives her more of these to write, because I think she could do so much with that universe. But this is basically murder mystery in space, with clones, and I've not read much of it, as you can see, but I've really loved what I've read so far. The problem is when I sit down to read, I find it really difficult to stop my brain wandering too much. And where I've just lost that habit of reading, I need to just sit down and get stuck in again. And I think that's what I've got to do. I've got to just, end of each day, just read a chapter a night, or a segment each night, because this is just like short stories, and it's pieces about J.F. Gonzalez and the impact he had, and just read a short story anthology, and just like one short story a night, or one chapter a night, or one segment in Clickers Forever a night, and just get back into that habit, because I know once I'm back in that habit, I'm going to, my reading speed will pick up. I'll be able to read and absorb a lot more of the books I've got. Like my bookcases at the moment, which I will show you one day, I've only 2/3 full, because I've blitzed through so many of my books in the last couple of years, and just got rid of the ones I don't want, the ones I'd never go read or never read again, and didn't have much interest when I read them the first time. So the ones I've got on it now, all stuff I'm interested in, all stuff I will read again one day. So yeah, so that's kind of one of my goals for the next, I suppose, till the end of February, to have these two read at least. And I can't see why not. I can't see why I shouldn't have them done by the end of this month, if I really pull my finger out. But right, folks, thank you for watching. I'm really pleased with how many people watched my video so far. It's great. It's nice knowing there's people interested. If you want to know more, please check out my blog, petergermany.com. You can find my stuff on Amazon. There's links through the blog. And, you know, just be kind, be honest, make the world a better place, yeah? Alright, folks, have a good one.